Roger, this is a pretty confusing time. How would you weigh in on the perils here and what the Fed should do?
Look, I think the perils are visible for all to see, which is that inflation is far above the Fed's 2% target. The market expects inflation to remain high for decades to come. You've just heard a good report from Steve on the forward momentum from consumers. And so I think the Fed is feeling that it's probably feeling that it's going to have to move and maybe move promptly and quickly to try to get ahead of this. They're behind the curve. I think they know it. And the only answer is to see, several moves up. I'm expecting one, probably at least two 50 basis point moves. Then we'll see what the data show. But that's, I think, where we are right now, Becky.
How much of this has already been baked into the market? And I ask because this week, even as the Fed's in its quiet period ahead of this next meeting, you're watching yields come down. We went from 2.9 to just above 2.7% for the 10-year this week. Does that tell you the market understands all of this, or is there something else at play?
I think the market generally understands the Fed is going to move because the Fed has said that. The market, I believe, has priced in a couple of 50 basis point moves, and I think they understand it. The other thing, and you talked about it a little earlier, is to some degree these equity prices are coming down in part because of an expectation of higher interest rates. So I don't think 50 basis points at one or the two meetings is going to be a surprise.
Yeah,
there's also a great deal of forward momentum here.
I'm sorry. If the Fed does what we anticipate, do you think the market's already moved, or is there anything that the Fed could say, the FOMC could say next week that makes people reconsider and say, whoa, wait a second, we got to push these yields back up?
I think the market is expecting what is the most likely outcome. What the Fed might indicate, and we'll see what those words sound like, is a sense that this is going to be a real campaign. And indeed, we'll start to hear what they say in terms of the number of moves, the pace. So if they really start talking about things like, a 75 basis point move, which I think is highly unlikely, the market would be surprised. But I think the market's priced in these 250s, and in that sense, not more to come from a downward leg here.